Libra, hi. So this is going to be a reading for June 16th through the 22nd. And I'll take a look into your recent past, your current energies, and your immediate future. And then I'll close it off with a couple of cards from the universe for you. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended. At the end of the video, you can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. Let's see, Libra. Ooh, the overall energy for the reading, the Three of Swords. A little bit of a painful energy. I don't know where to place it quite yet, because I'm not seeing it tied up to anything yet until we clarify. So we'll leave it at that for now. In the recent past, the Page of Swords, the King of Cups, the Queen of Wands. I see you pretty open to something here. From an energetic perspective, you seem super open to something. Physically, you're just taking a couple of, almost shy steps. In contrast with the openness I'm seeing energetically. So there's confidence there. There's, again, openness, emotional investment, steps, little ones. But it's okay. So maybe you're just starting something there or something. Anyways, in the current situation, the Page of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, the Empress. Oh, well. I see you looking into your worth. In all honesty, you're almost giving me a sense of I'm just learning my worth. I'm like, oh, well, that could make sense for the energy that I see back there. Because you definitely had the confidence, you definitely had it going, but again, kind of shy in the approach. And now you're looking closer at what you're worth, and it feels like you're seeing something nice there. Okay, nice. In the immediate future, the Knight of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, the Nine of Wands. You're proceeding here with a commitment, alongside a commitment. There's a commitment involved. And you're proceeding with it, but it feels to be very, very difficult. So it's almost giving me a sense of pushing through because, times are tough for this one at this moment in time. Okay, maybe that's where the pain goes in. But let's see. Let's see the Three of Swords. Okay, yeah, there's something going on with somebody here. For the Three of Swords, you get the Fool, the Five of Swords, the Three of Pentacles. What bit me? You're showing up super, super open to a particular partnership here. And the fact that you're showing up super, super open to it comes through as being deceptive. Why? Because I see some pain there. I see some things that are not necessarily healthy here. So why would you open up yourself completely to this if it's in a place of it's not great, instead of kind of working on what's not great about it, That's why it's kind of coming back as a little bit of a deceptive energy. For the Page of Swords, in the recent past, you get the Four of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles. Oh, okay. So yeah, it is an initial type of involvement in something. That's why the small steps there. It's something that's building up over time. Okay, kind of makes sense. Feels good in the moment, at least. Let's do the King of Cups. The Four of Cups, the Six of Swords, the Nine of Pentacles. All right. There's emotional investment as well. And then I see you getting hurt by something or upset by something. And the minute that happens, you kind of pull back. You're like, you know what? I'm good over there, away from this. Okay, well, that kind of makes sense depending on what it is, but... Let me do the Queen of Wands, the Seven of Cups, the Devil, the Sun. Who are you dealing with here? There's an energy that I see there that's willing to kind of blast through anything that shows up their way in order for them to get to their goal. And it's looking to be quite the unhealthy energy, because it's one of those that, you know, nothing's going to stop me, and I don't care what means I have to take to get to where I need to go. I don't think that's you. But I think that if it's not you, it's by your side in this one. Yeah, okay. Let's do the Page of Pentacles in the current situation. The King of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Two of Wands. Yeah, learning how to trust your intuition more and more. Because this could be work. Because you're pointing me in that direction. Whatever this is about, you're trusting you have been working on trusting your intuition more and more. And I think you're getting there. I think, again, it's about your self-worth right now. You know, whatever showed up in there in the past kind of set you off on this path of, hey, what am I worth? You know? Yeah, looking into yourself a lot here. There's resistance to it because, you know, you don't want to be put on the spot there, but that's the energy that you're being pulled into. For the Nine of Cups, you get the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands. Yeah, looking into the way you put yourself first, the way you take care of yourself, you know, all things about yourself, which again might come through as feeling uncomfortable at times. I think that's the rejection that I see there. It's not a full-on rejection on your part. It's a little bit of uncomfortableness, I would assume here, because you're being, again, called to look into yourself here, big time. Potentially as a result of whatever the hell transpired through the past situation. Of course, you're here. For the Empress, you get the King of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles. Okay. You're giving me a weird type of, it could be a belief of yours that your worth was defined up until now by your interaction with other energies. So, I don't know, if somebody was treating you like crap, that meant you were crap. If somebody was treating you like a queen, that meant you were a queen. If so, you know what I mean? So it's kind of, there's a little bit of confusion on your side when you're defining something like that for me, in terms of, I got my self-worth up until now from what others told me I am, or my interaction with others and what resulted out of that. Whereas this time around, you're being called to look into yourself and be honest about who you truly are and your self-worth, without any of the outer energies out there to tell you, hey, you're this or you're that, or you know what I mean? So it feels a little tricky, because if you've done this all your life, where your worth was a definition of just your interaction with others, then you got to redefine that, you know? That's why you're being put on the spot here, because it's like, no, it's your self-worth. You determine what that is, not others. Interesting. For the Knight of Pentacles, in the immediate future, you get the Five of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the King of Cups. All right, so yeah, there's a commitment here. I'm not sure if we're talking about the same partnership that I saw in there in the past, or if it's something else. You seem to be determined to proceed here, to stay open to this and try to make it work. Now, there's a couple of bumps in the road from what I can see, because for the most part, yeah, your openness is there, yeah, your determination is there, which is going to make it probably feel a little easier at times to push through here, but other times the situation seems to be quite conflicting. So that's going to be pretty hard to deal with as an energy, no matter how open you are to it. But slowly but surely, you seem to be determined to push through here, as far as this commitment goes. For the Four of Wands, you get the Hangman, the Ten of Pentacles, the Strength card. Interesting. And then shows up the idea of, what if you let this commitment show you what it actually is and where it can lead you. Because you got a good feeling about it, that's why you're pushing through, right? You're like, well, it needs to work out. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't do this. So there's this crazy idea that shows up potentially on your end of how about allowing for this commitment to show you what it's made of, to show you what it is. We have the tendency to say, oh yeah, I'm doing that all the time. I'm letting this person to show me who they are. I'm letting this commitment to show me what it is. When we don't realize that, not really. We're kind of influencing them to be what we want them to be a lot of times, which ultimately control. So it looks like, I don't know where this idea is coming from, but it's coming from somewhere. Probably from you, I'm assuming. And then you're giving me a sense of it's very, very difficult to let this be what it is, to let this show me what it is. I bet it is. Because again, if you're starting from the angle of your drive is to make this work because you feel it's going to be great, so you're going to influence this to match your intention, whether you do it consciously or not. You know, it's human nature. We all kind of get lost in that. And then we don't realize that, hey, it's actually a little bit of control that we're trying to, when instead we can just let things be what they are and show us what they're made of, you know? Okay. For the Nine of Wands, in the immediate future, you get the Eight of Cups, the Tower, the Magician. If you let it, it'll reveal its true colors. You might not like those colors. They might not match what you're hoping for here. They clash with your manifestation of what you want this to be. It's like, no. And at some point, when you see that, because it's going to be obvious, if you allow for this commitment to show you what it truly is, where it's wanting to go, what it's about, it's going to show you. And the result of it, I see you seeing it, but at the same time rejecting it, being like, well, I don't like what I see, you know? Whether or not you like what you see, it's kind of coming in direct conflict with your own manifestation over this. So it's not matching what you really want, but you're having a hard time accepting that. So the conclusion is let it show you and then figure out what you want to do based on that, but don't go against the truth at the same time, you know? When it does show you, don't reject it just because you don't like it. You know what I mean? From the universe, for you as a final advice, the King of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Seven of Wands. You kind of don't want to deal with any of this anymore. You're like, you know what? Fuck this. I need a break. I need a vacation. I'm going to go. And when I come back, I'll deal with this if there's anything left to deal with. You kind of have a little bit of that attitude of kind of stepping away a little bit. That's how you feel. I don't think you're doing it though, because you're stopping yourself when you have that tendency of, I just don't want to deal with this right now. So yeah, it's something that I feel like you're trying to figure out about a certain partnership through it all. What's nice about it is that it does bring to the surface the idea of you looking into your self-worth and not in contrast with other energies outside of yourself, just you and you. And then, yeah, you're going to have to figure this one out in time. It's not, the conclusion to this is nowhere near what I see here. It's a process. So anyways, that's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time.